turn this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job.
Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. Expanding a restaurant is not popular these days. The pandemic has taken a serious toll. But one Waukesha County couple is taking that chance with a move to Milwaukee, and they've even found a way to support young talent. From succulent ribs to hot wings to catfish, Pat's Ribs Place promises to satisfy big appetites. And after a tough pandemic year and a time where many restaurants are cutting back, Pat's Ribs expands to downtown Milwaukee. And that's good news for the diners who travel from all over the area to the Waukesha location, owned by Alicia and Titus Hayes.
We get people from Delafield and Menominee Falls, and we always get people coming in and saying, I heard about this from someone else.
Restaurant work is hard, but Titus and Alicia love it.
People have asked me, like, why are you here so much? And I'm like, I enjoy the people.
Pat's Ribs Place landed on Oprah Winfrey's favorite things list. And though Alicia is Oprah's niece, her famous aunt never warned her.
I did not believe it, and once she confirmed it, I was pretty much in shock.
Yeah.
She's been a great support. She's very proud, and she recognizes that we work hard, and that means the world to me.
The couple has something else on their plate. They routinely serve up opportunities to young people. Very important since Alicia was on the board at Carroll University for 9 years.
We still work very close with them.
And their commitment to helping students is strong. In fact, an MATC student was filming a promotional video while our cameras were there.
We have a student here named Dan, and he is recording us as well, and he's going to be working on a promotional piece for Pat's Rib Place. We have about 4 or 5 students here right now.
We try to give back to the community, and that's our way of thanking the community for supporting us.
I love the way that you allow students to grow.
I love working with students.
And working in the food business with your spouse during a pandemic can pose a few challenges.
Of course. I mean, we're like any other couple that have been looking at each other for like days on end. And
I never had any problems. She never does anything wrong. So.
That's a good guy right here. Good guy.
And that's probably good since opening another eatery needs some serious coordination.
We do realize that we can't be everywhere at once, so.
And the Hayes are grateful for the customer loyalty in Waukesha.
We thank all of the customers who come to Pat's Rib Place, and to us, you're more than just a customer. You are a part of our family.
They're now excited about sharing their hometown recipes with the Milwaukee public market and finding new ways to invest in youth. But like most restaurants these days, the help wanted sign is out.
I will say that we are hiring and we are looking for people. So yeah, if you're interested in getting a job and if you do want to work, please reach out to us at Pat's Rib Place. We are looking forward to feeding a lot of hungry bellies in Milwaukee.
And no doubt they will. And the food at Pat's Ribs Place is even better by the fact that they use their success to lift others. 100 years is a long time for anything, especially a family business. A Germantown Dentistry is reflecting on a century of smiles. Kristen Byrne has that story.
There's a lot of history at County Line Dental. The first Dr. Watson started the practice in 1921.
There weren't any commercially available demonstration models for dentists. So my grandfather made his own.
That's Dr. John Watson, the third Dr. Watson to run the dentistry. Dr. John says his grandfather left quite a legacy, including performing the first root canal in Wisconsin.
Grandpa started getting out his extraction forceps. He was going to take the tooth out. And he looked at him and says, "You sure there's nothing else you can do? I'm really attached to this tooth."
So Dr. Watson told his patient about a new procedure he just read about.
And he looked at him and says, "Well, if it doesn't work, you can always pull it." So he tried it. Son of a gun, it worked. And when he died at 105, he still had that tooth in his mouth.
Dr. John saw many of the same patients as his grandfather and learned a lot just from looking into their mouths. But he spent most of his time working with his dad.
I learned so much from my dad. I think I learned more from my dad the first year I was out of Marquette than I did the whole 4 years I was in Marquette.
But now Dr. John is looking toward the future. His own kids weren't interested in dentistry, and he's ready to retire.
It's time to move on.
That's where Dr. Jessica Gruber comes in.
Dentistry is a huge family business. As you can see, Dr. John's grandfather was a dentist, his dad was a dentist, now he's a dentist. I'm a little bit of a lone wolf, so they somewhat adopted me. I don't have any family that's dentists, and they brought me into their family.
Dr. John says he introduced Dr. Gruber to the patients over the past year and a half. She's a great fit to take over. She's also a Marquette grad and a Germantown native.
I grew up right down the road from here, so being able to carry on his legacy in my hometown is amazing.
She's right on there. She knows exactly what to do, and she's doing it, and and she's keeping up, and the patients all love her.
And Dr. Gruber says seeing the same families over and over again was part of what drew her to dentistry. Not a lot of professions that get to see families grow and change through the years. An honor in Halloween, and we want to show you a pumpkin that Cinderella would be proud to turn into a carriage. James Grove talked to the farmer about how it was grown and why it won't be in the record books.
This is a giant pumpkin, weighs in at 2,520 pounds.
While this is the heaviest pumpkin in the country, it's not going down in the record books that way. It cracked. But before we get into that, meet the grower.
My name's Mike Schmidt, and I grow giant pumpkins. Pumpkins are like ice cream. Everyone loves them. Some people say we're crazy, but, you know, we're just people that like to have a little fun out in the dirt.
Mike grew this gargantuan gourd about 30 miles west of Fond du Lac. It weighs 2,520 pounds.
This pumpkin would have won this year, and so you're looking at a pumpkin that would have been worth $20,000.
But unfortunately, from internal pressures and the awkward way it was growing, it cracked. That disqualified him from all competitions this year.
The crack was the size of a fingernail. It happens. There's no crying in pumpkin growing.
Sounds like he needed a pumpkin patch. Mike grew 3 pumpkins this year, and all his pumpkins had similar fates. But there's no time to sulk.
I know I can do it again, so we just got to look forward to the future and do it again.
Hopefully next time, the great pumpkin gods spare him and he can put his name in the record books.
That deserves something. And when competitive pumpkin growing first started back in the 1900s, the record setter only weighed 400 pounds. Well, it took another 100 years to break that record, the 1,000-pound mark. But then, 16 years after that, a grower produced a 2,000-pound pumpkin. Hard to believe. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to show you seasonal new workouts to get you in the mood for Halloween. Plus, we're going to show you a program that's helping to improve a unique resource in the city of Milwaukee. Welcome back. If you're looking to see some fall colors, don't go far. Milwaukee has a state forest right in the heart of the city. And a new program hopes to use that resource to help people improve their job prospects. Steve Shamratz tells us about the Havenwoods Street Keepers program.
In the middle of Milwaukee, just off Silver Spring Drive, you will find this sanctuary of nature and quiet. It's the Havenwoods State Forest, the only urban forest in Wisconsin.
So I think it definitely kind of adds this extra layer of getting the nature involved in what we're doing.
Catlin Hahn works with the Havenwoods Neighborhood Partnership and supervises the Street Keepers program.
The Street Keepers program is a transitional jobs program that really centers around the Havenwoods community.
Transitional employees may be looking for higher education and better employment, or they might be looking to switch career tracks. Either way, Catlin says she wants to teach them soft skills like accountability and leadership.
There's a lot that they can teach people on the job once they're there, but those basic interpersonal skills are so essential, so we really emphasize those.
Mastering those skills makes a huge difference for the people Catlin works with. She described practicing for a job interview.
And we really were working on different ways to get more comfortable with that idea of building ourselves up, and you could just see her self-confidence grow, and it's such an amazing thing. So yeah, I definitely hope that it's beneficial and helpful for them.
There's a lot of benefit to helping build up these individuals.
When someone is confident in themselves, they're going to go further in their career. They're more likely to become a homeowner in the area, get involved in community projects, volunteering.
And the street keepers will give back too. They'll help with tree trimming, picking up litter, and other beautification projects, like these murals. But Catlin also wants people in the program to help plan community events.
So that could look like anything from focusing on the kids in our community, like with the Kluge Elementary, doing something that focuses on seniors, working with local artists or businesses. It's really kind of a big opportunity to do anything that connects with the community.
For the street keepers, each step forward is a step towards something better for everyone.
It's really a beautiful process, in my opinion.
What a great program. Now, the Street Keepers program is still hiring. It pays $14 an hour for 20 hours per week work. Now, that sounds like a wonderful way to get a little extra money, and it actually gives you more than just a wage. Okay, so maybe you're not interested in growing or eating pumpkins this fall, but there are plenty of other ways to enjoy those orange gourds. Cassandra McShepard shows us how you can work out with a pumpkin.
As the temperatures drop, it's time to bring your workout indoors. You can come to Planet Fitness and do it like this, or stay at home and do it with this.
So our first move is called the Jack-o'-lantern jumping jack. So it's your typical jumping jack with a little bit of a twist. Instead of jumping and moving those feet, you're just gonna move your feet side to side, bringing it in and out at the same time. So a little dance, like you said.
Okay.
For this one, we're gonna, again, have our feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna have a nice slight bend at the knees like a squat. We're gonna hold the pumpkin nice and low. We're just gonna swing our arms up. We're just gonna come right back and down. There you go. Just like that. Out. We wanted to make sure that we were keeping people active while being practical and using some of those things that they have sitting around the house. This move, we're gonna put our pumpkin on the ground.
Gladly.
We're just gonna jump from side to side. Or if you're a little nervous of jumping over the pumpkin and tripping.
That could be really funny.
And as we talked about before with the jumping exercise, we can just go side to side, quick movements just like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the pumpkin, again, nice and firm. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna hold the pumpkin above our chest. And then when you do a sit-up, you're just gonna bring the pumpkin overhead, up and down. There you go, up and down.
I'm ready to smash this pumpkin now.
Finding opportunities to those days where you just don't quite feel like getting into the gym. Maybe I can do some of these things at home to keep up with my fitness, but also try something new and exciting to switch it up a little bit. The more that you're working out, the better you're gonna feel, the better you're gonna feel, the better your days are gonna go.
Oh my gosh. I am worn out by a pumpkin, you guys. I will never look at pumpkins the same way again. Time to hit the showers.
How creative. Just think, now, after you work out with that pumpkin, you could actually bake a nice pie, but that might ruin all the calories you burned from your exercise, so maybe not. There is a new vehicle in Racine that looks like an ordinary car or maybe a shuttle. Jessica Maduker explains that something could actually make you much safer.
Completely driving itself.
It's what they believe could be the future of transportation. Local officials gathered in Racine to hit the streets, driving in what they call the Badger, a fully automatic, all-electric, zero-emission shuttle that has the potential to not only change the way we travel, but also reduce car accidents.
So as of today, we've lost 488 people on Wisconsin roads. That's even a couple more than this time last year. But what this technology has the ability to do in the pretty near term with connected technology is to reduce a lot of accidents because the vehicles can talk to each other and sometimes even with the infrastructure, and eventually to hopefully bring accidents and deaths down to zero.
But it won't be available to the public anytime soon. Researchers will work at tweaking the vehicle in Racine. For now, they believe there is still a series of tests that must be done before you can catch a Badger on the road. This particular vehicle could be used like Milwaukee's downtown hop, taking people from point A to B. It only goes up to 25 miles per hour, but the technology could be used for all sorts of cars eventually. Tony Piper will be the lead engineer on the shuttle. He says the brains behind this vehicle is essentially this tablet.
And I start the computer computer. So it's pretty much straight mapping of the roadway.
The roadway to hopefully a safer future.
I like that. Now, won't it be nice when cars actually can drive themselves, especially now, because you can check out all the beautiful leaves that are changing color during the fall. Well, we have some Halloween scares coming for you after the break, including a look at a house that's really getting into the spirit. But first, here's one of my favorite things. We're going to meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week.
Hi, I'm Johanna Szymanski with HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha, and today I have two of our Positively Milwaukee pets, Granite and Slate. Granite and Slate are a bonded pair of male guinea pigs. They are 1 year old, and they would do well in pretty much any family who's willing to give them time and attention. They're very affectionate little guys, active and fun, keep each other company because guinea pigs are social creatures, and they do well in pairs or trios. Here at HAWS, we have a lovely small animal department. We are not just dogs and cats. We have guinea pigs, hamsters, rats, turtles, all sorts of different creatures. If you are interested in adopting Granite and Slate or any of the other wonderful animals we have at HAWS, please contact us and find a pet that's Positively Milwaukee.
Welcome back. Halloween is a time for tricks and treats and spooky decorations. James Grove spoke to a family that's been going above and beyond to decorate their yard for more than 15 years.
And I hear, are these guys crazy? So.
Are you?
Could be, but not really.
These scary clowns behind me, they're a part of A&J's Halloween House, the iconic display in Milwaukee's Bayview neighborhood. They went with a circus theme this year, and if you think this is creepy now, just wait till you see what it looks like at night.
We wanted to be just a little bit more spookier. We're normally a little bit more like Disney-esque.
For more than 15 years, Jamie Beauchamp and his husband Andy Reed have been putting on these Halloween displays at 2943 South Clement Avenue.
And some of the kids that were young now have already actually graduated high school.
Last year was a Ghostbusters theme. This year, it's clowns, clowns, and more clowns. Dozens of people come around the clock in October to see the house. It's just as scary during the day as it is at night.
We've probably had like 100 people out here at once.
That's a lot of people, which also means a lot of trick-or-treaters.
We also help out some of our neighbors that are directly adjacent to us with extra candy. I can't have them foot the bill for all the candy from my house.
Beyond the memories made here, A&J's Halloween House makes a direct impact on the community. They've raised more than $20,000 for Pathfinders, a charity in Milwaukee that helps at-risk youth.
It's our gift to help raise money for Pathfinders, and our donation is our time and product, and everything else is for Pathfinders after that.
You have until Halloween night to see this display. They said it's all coming down November 1st.
That is scary and awesome. You might even startle yourself getting into the house at night, but what a fun way for the neighborhood to come together, and it's nice to see people getting in the spirit and also helping others. Well, maybe that story gave you some ideas on how to dress for Halloween, or maybe you're just still thinking. So we decided to ask you, what is the best costume for Halloween this year?
I would have to say a Miller Lite bottle, because you are in Wisconsin.
Grapes.
Grapes?
Yeah, like a bunch of grapes with all the balloons. I was that 1 year. I got popped. By the time I got home, I had all my safety pins and dead balloons on me.
Skeleton things, I guess. It's just kind of a really stereotypical embodiment of Halloween stuff.
What the grandkids like.
What do they like this year?
Spider-Man and Elsa from Frozen.
Oh gosh, I haven't even thought about mine. I was a ninja once. I know that's not exciting, but I liked it because it was a cool bodysuit.
I guess the favorite one I ever wore was I did Lilu Dallas, the Fifth Element, thermal bandages, and that was amazing. I had a trench coat for when it got cold, but yeah, it was great.
Maybe I don't know, someone who looks expensive.
I think my favorite one I ever did was a minion. I had overalls and
I don't remember how I did the yellow. Oh yeah, I just did like yellow shirt, overalls, and then I had like a hat that had like the big eyes.
This year, I'm gonna be a witch, and my husband is gonna be a man witch. It's like a can of man witch. It's like a giant can. So that's it.
Now that's what I call a lot of creative ideas, and I'd love to see some of these costumes in action. And if you have a Halloween costume idea or you want to share your spooky pictures, just go to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group and leave us a note. Well, we know Halloween's coming up, and that means scary decorations. And Shorewood has our first reason to smile this morning. Now check out these adorable pumpkins. These were designed and painted for the Great Pumpkin Hunt, and that begins tomorrow. Decorated pumpkins will be haunting the windows of Shorewood businesses, and kids can pick up a guide at the library to start to find the pumpkins. And children who spot 7 pumpkins and return their guide to the library can pick up a special trick-or-treat bag. How cute, and happy hunting, kids. Well, check out this new mural on Clybourne Avenue. It shows baseball legends and brothers Hank and Tommy Aaron. Hank was the last player from an all-black league to also appear on a major league roster. The artists are hoping this mural reminds us all of the challenges black athletes endured, but also is a nod to their triumphs and progress. Definitely a beautiful piece. The Bucks celebrated this week, and why not? They held their championship ring ceremony, showing off bling encrusted with more than 300 diamonds. Now that's what I call a great way to start the night. This ceremony took place right before the season opening game against the Brooklyn Nets, and yes, the Bucks won. You might recall the Bucks beat the Nets in the second round of the playoffs before they went on to win the finals and become our world champs. I'll be back with my quote of the week. Don't go away. Like a welcome summer rain, humor may suddenly cleanse and cool the earth, the air, and you. Our quote this week comes from Langston Hughes, a prolific writer famous for poems such as I Too Sing America and Brotherly Love. Much of that writing centered on the lives of and experiences of African Americans. Langston Hughes wrote about the good, the bad, and he wrote it in a way that was familiar, approachable, and humorous. As you go about your week, I hope you can find some humor and laughter to your days. And always stay positively Milwaukee.